are no monsters, right? Wrong. Holto.
How the fudge did they do that?
I have toiled for the last 1,000 hours in the finals chasing an ideal. The ideal of mastery. Along this path, I have witnessed many tides of change. Metas have risen and fallen. Strategies have come and gone. Countless players have entered the arena only to fade into memory. You see, what most believe defines a great player is only half the tale. The true height of this game's skill ceiling lies in a place few will ever reach. While I have not and may never stand at the very peak, I have come to see what it truly takes to get there. Today, I'd like to share that with you.
In a world where no cash out is safe.
When we talk about a skill ceiling, we're talking about standing upon the absolute frontier of mastery. This is a place where talent, understanding and execution converge. Every game has a skill ceiling, and for every game it's different. For example, in something like CSGO, to be a decent player you need discipline, precision and patience. But to be the best, you need knowledge, knowing every angle, every smoke, every rotation.
Much more utility to work with. Here he comes.
This ultimately leads to a strong level of predictability, and that's exactly what allows the pros to refine their strategy down to a science.
Right now, how does he do this?
So the question then is, why open with Counter-Strike in a video about the finals? Well, because Counter-Strike is the gold standard for controlled skill expression. It's a world of order, of discipline, of known quantities, and the variables are relatively low. But what happens if we adjust the unpredictability dial just a little bit? Well, then we might land on a game like Apex Legends, you see, because at a fundamental level, Apex increases the number of variables you have to consider at any given time. This begins to melt structure and predictability. It doesn't throw away the idea of mastery, but it does change what mastery looks like. There's more chaos, more motion, more decisions to be made on the fly. As an Apex player, the one key skill you develop through a process of trial and error is the ability to think on your feet, to do the best with whatever hand it is you're dealt. And this is simply a byproduct of the way the mechanics interact, and it's why I'm using Apex as my second example.
Thank you, Dr. Summers.
Think of it like this: if CSGO is a village of order, well, Apex would be a city of chaos. Following this metaphor, then the finals would be an entire realm of entropy. In the finals, variables are not just part of the experience, they quite literally are the experience. Everything in this game is designed to crank randomness to the extreme. Creating layers of unpredictability unlike any other shooter I can think of. To start with, class abilities and utilities shape how you move, how you fight, how you respond under pressure. But then there's random vault locations, unpredictable spawns, and the chaotic game show events that all add to the complexity. The real heavy hitter, however, is the destruction model. This basically turns the game into an RNG simulator, and I've come up with a simple equation to illustrate how this works. The player changes the world.
Oh, what?
Are you kidding?
The world changes the fight.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And the fight changes the player.
Got him.
This is a feedback loop of chaos that nobody is in control of, and the only way to survive is to learn to be extremely adaptable. In my mind, there are 4 key skills that must be mastered in order to reach the very limit of the skill ceiling. From here, I want you to picture that ceiling as a climbable mountain. Each of the 4 core skills is like a base camp on the way up, crucial stops on the path to the summit. But at the peak, towering above them all, lies one final skill, the most important and yet the least appreciated. Now, we'll get there, but first, our climb begins at the very first base camp and the first skill, adaptability. I think of this skill as almost an inherent way of thinking. It's a mindset, but it's one that can be developed and trained like anything else. We've already spent the best part of this video laying the groundwork for this skill, but after 1,000 hours in the finals, I can say with certainty, adaptability is the foundational skill. If your mind is stuck in a rigid way of thinking and you can't think on your feet, change your plan when the world around you forces you to, well, it's as they say really, if things don't bend, they break. And what breaks first is your patience and then your motivation to play. And that means the climb ends before it even begins. But once you do find your footing and accept that change is constant and chaos is the king of this realm, the true climb to the top can begin. And waiting for us at base camp number 2 is the next skill, mechanical aim. Gunfights in the finals can end in the blink of an eye, or they can drag on in a chaotic tug of war. There's no consistent time to kill, no single right way to aim. Everything depends on your weapon, your class, and your opponent. Being able to flick and track makes a player well-rounded, and the best, they're simply cracked at both. Good aim makes you reliable under pressure. It lets you clean up faster to avoid third parties. It opens up high-risk, high-reward loadouts. You're also better equipped to win when you're outnumbered. And above all, lets you play with confidence. But here's the thing, right? It's 2025. Every man and his dog has decent aim. Countless players have invested unthinkable hours into FPS games by now. They've upgraded their gear, grinded aim trainers, and with aim assist lifting the skill floor, even controller players are now hanging with the best. Solid aim isn't rare anymore, it's the baseline. That's why, for all its importance, aim is only the second base camp, because without the next skill, game sense, good aim is just a trap. Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing it doesn't belong in a fruit salad. In much the same way, game sense is having knowledge of the game's mechanics paired with the understanding of how to use them to your advantage. Because raw aim may give you the tools to win a fight, but not the wisdom to know when to fight, who to fight, where to position, or when to disengage. Game sense isn't luck, it's a skill. Forged through failure, tempered by repetition, and sharpened by experience. For every failed push, a debt is paid. For every aim duel lost, a scar is made. For every cash out stolen, a plan is betrayed. And every failed strategy should leave your judgment to be weighed.
Oh no.
The finals may be an RNG simulator, no doubt. Chaos is part of the blueprint. But even still, the best didn't get where they are by constantly blaming the randomness. They got there by owning their mistakes and using them as fuel for improvement. Where others might only see bad luck, the best turned inward and asked, why did I fail there? What could I have done differently?
Shooting at me, bro. This is insane.
Were there any clues in the chaos? Over time, they built something that no prestigious badge or stat tracker could show.
He isn't gonna find me.
Yes.
There we go,
They
baby.
built an arsenal of tricks, habits, and mental frameworks waiting to be deployed at a moment's notice. For example, they know how and when to play their life and when their death is the sacrifice for the greater good.
Shoot the gas, shoot the gas! Yes!
They know how to bait greedy players, fake a steal to grab attention, when to make brief alliances with an enemy team, when to peek, when to rotate,
Okay, we can apply pressure now. Got him. One dead. Two dead.
and when to just wait. There are so many more scenarios where game sense shines and we barely scratched the surface. And even after 1,000 hours of playing, I'm still constantly learning new things. Now we find ourselves approaching the summit.
What?
And it's time to face a truth most players never will. The fact is, you can have godlike aim and amazing game sense, but without the fourth and final skill, you will never reach the skill ceiling in this game. The last skill we will discuss is teamwork.
Nobody gets it, nobody man, nobody fam, nobody realizes on the ground with the stuff that we're trying to overstand.
I'm healing.
After 1,000 hours, one thing that really stands out to me, teamwork is the skill most players invest in the least. And yet, it's the one that amplifies every other skill and has the most impact on the outcome of any given round and can even make up for weaknesses in other areas. Good team moves like a single force of nature. They swarm the map together, fast, fluid and focused.
Oh!
When they descend on another squad, they don't just fight them, they fracture them. They exploit every hesitation, every misstep, every weak link in the chain, and in seconds, they shatter that team to pieces.
Yo, my God!
Yep. He's watching. I two-tapped the medium, I'm going for it. Light's gonna come.
The finals is chaos, explosions, collapsing buildings, third parties, cash outs flying through the air.
What the hell?
It's beautiful but overwhelming. No one player can track it all. There's simply too many variables for a single brain to manage. That is where teamwork shines. It spreads the cognitive load. 3 players, 3 perspectives, all watching different angles, tracking different threats, processing information faster than any solo ever could.
There's someone here. There's someone here on point. I need heals. I need heals.
Then, with synergy and communication, suddenly the chaos has some shape to it. Good team doesn't panic when the plans go sideways, they adapt together.
Healing you. Healing you. Healing you.
And if I'm being honest, and I'm guilty of this too, but if you have a plan in your mind,
I'm gonna drop this mine. Don't go down the hole.
but make the call out after the play, that isn't good enough.
I'm so sorry.
Pushing alone in silence, dying then screaming, "Where's my team?" isn't good enough. Getting tunnel visioned on any given task without any awareness of whether your team can support you that isn't good enough. Not if you want to be contending with the best. I've played a lot of solos in the finals, and I've 3-stacked with some extremely cracked players. I've won games playing with less mechanically gifted players because we played as one, and I've lost games with extremely talented players because we were all solo heroes. Teamwork in the finals is the one skill that matters the most, and it's the one that separates the good from the gods. Teamwork is the skill I myself need to work on more than anything else, but it's clear to me this is the blueprint to reach the very limit of the skill ceiling. Because in a world ruled by entropy, the only thing that brings order is unity.
Well, that's a